right, so we are going to be creating this cute little Santa Claus in a winter scene. So we're only going to draw out the Santa Claus this week, and we're going to add some patterns and designs on his little coat. So we're just going to do that this week, and then next week we will actually create the winter scene behind him with watercolor. And we'll watercolor his jacket and his hat. So if you notice, we're going to start out with this shape right here, the face. And we're going to actually have to draw this out in the peachy color. So you might want to use a pencil first. If you'd like to go ahead and use a pencil first and practice it first. So we need this little peachy color, not the black, because what's going to happen if we do the black first, you're going to get this. See the little, I call these little smeary monsters. You're going to get little smeary monsters all over, and we don't want that. So we want to actually do this in peach first. And I noticed that it's almost like that little, if you've ever played Pac-Man or know what Pac-Man is, you know those little ghosts? It's almost like that little ghost shape. So we're going to do this shape right here in peach. And you want to make sure you leave room for the hat. So you don't want to go too far at the top, but you don't want it too far down here either, because you want the whole page to be Santa Claus. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to about here on your paper, and I want you to just go from here to here. You don't want to go all the way to the end. About here to here, and you're going to do this big rainbow arch. And I still have some room for that little hat to fold over, so that's good. I need his hair and I need a hat. Right, and then I'm just going to do these little waves at the bottom. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and do his eyes. I'm going to trace his eyes. All right, now before I do that black, I'm going to go ahead and color all of this in peach. All right, so this is where if you want to get a white, and because these are oil pastels, you can actually blend a lighter color on top. And if you want to get a white and kind of go over those spaces that maybe you missed, maybe you got some white spaces, you can just use that white to blend it out. I like that look. I like to have it all blended out. Make sure your white is clean. Like, see, I've got some spots on here because my oil pastel wasn't clean. So you can always kind of flip it over and clean it on the back if you want to do that first. That's okay. I've got a little bit of color in there, but that's okay. All right. So now I can pick up my black, and now I can very carefully trace the eye. I'm going to trace the eye. I'm going to fill this in, but I'm going to give him a reflective light. You can put it wherever you want. It can be whatever shape you want it to be, but you want to make sure you leave some light inside of that pupil. And then we're just going to do a real simple nose. I'm just going to curve. And his mouth is actually up underneath the beard, so we're not going to give him a mouth. All right, so now we can go ahead and draw the rest of this out in black. Let's go ahead and trace. Now we can trace, and we don't have to worry about any smear monsters. All right, so now we're going to do the beard, and all we're going to do is we're going to come out to about here, and you don't want it to be perfect. You're going to do like some little waves around the top of it. And then you can come down however far you want to, but you want this to go into like a V, and you're just going to curve, and it's almost going to go to a point, and that's his beard. That's his hair and his beard. All right, so let's go ahead and do that hat on top, and we're just going to pull this over. His hat's almost going to the side, so we're going to come here. I'm going to go ahead and come here. I'm going to put that little, you can even make that little ball on the hat, kind of wavy. And then I'm just going to connect this up to the top of the head. And that's going to be red. All right, let's go ahead and get that body. We're going to actually come off the side of the beard here, not the bottom. We want the side of the beard. We want to leave some room. You can even put your hand here to make sure you don't go all the way to the bottom. We got to give him some little boots. All right, perfect. And then we're just going to kind of curve a line here. This is the bottom of his little Santa jacket. All right, now his arms are actually, we're going to do like a little curve up, curve. We're going to give him a thumb. We're going to do a little curve. And then we're just going to do like a little rainbow arch. And then we're going to give him like a cuff. And these are going to be little black mittens. And I think I want this arm coming down. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to come here. And this one's kind of going off the page. But again, I'm going to give him a thumb. And I'm going to give him a cuff. Excuse me. And you can have his little arms go however you want. All right, now we're going to do these boots. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a straight line down. I'm going to come across just a little bit, and I'm going to do this really, really skinny, I guess like an upside down U or rainbow arch. And then I'm going to come across. I'm going to come over. And then I'm going to go straight up. And that's his little Santa boot. I'll do the same thing here. Go down, come across just a little bit, and I'm going to do that little skinny arch. I'm going to come across. I'm going to go up, over, and I've got him some little black boots. Perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill in his boots and his mittens. All right, you want to be very careful with this black today. This hand is not even touching any of my white paper. This one is barely touching my paper because you don't want to get a lot of black on your pretty white background. That's going to be a really pretty watercolor, so you don't really want it. You want to be very careful. This black oil pastel is very messy. All right, so now we're just going to add 2 lines right here where the coat is. You can add some buttons. You want to put a couple of buttons there. And then I think we're done with the black. Now we're just going to give him some rosy cheeks. You could either use pink or red. And we're just going to give him some really cute rosy. Santa's known for his little pink face. You give him some little rosy cheeks. And you make that as big or small as you want. All right, and then we are going to go in and we're going to add some details into his coat so that next week we can watercolor the background. All right, have fun. So you might want to take a wipe and clean your hands before you go into the details. And what you can do is, I'm going to have a detailed sheet for you to look at. And what you can do is you can add some of those details. So maybe you want some X's. Maybe you want some purple hearts in here. And if maybe you want some of them colored in, maybe some of them not. You can do that. Maybe you want some stripes. You can do this however you want. It's your picture. I'm going to have you lots of ideas. Maybe some polka dots in here. And we are going to also do his coat. So, however you want to do this, I'll have a page of ideas. And you're going to just decorate his jacket. And then next week, we're going to do what's called a watercolor resist, because the watercolor is going to go right over that oil pastel, and the oil pastel will come right through it, so it'll show. Okay, have fun.